I'm sorry. I'm afraid that I won't make...
Greetings, Your Excellency.
Hey! Green blood!
Kurt. Accompanied by their most loyal and tenacious master of arms.
As loyal as your goal.
Well, enough with the cold and the greats of this world, I see.
Hey, our blades are the only thing keeping you dainties alive.
Kurt, I'm not in need of your protection. I'm no longer a child, you know.
Is that so? Well, let's see. Me who thought myself a competent weapons master.
It's becoming a little hard to believe.
Don't add insult to injury. This is humiliating enough. We'll need to get you through the basics, or you risk getting your feathers plucked at the first sign of trouble.
That could definitely come in handy.
In that case, Otto here is going to be your training partner. Go! Fight with honor! It appears we've brushed up on the basics.
It does, and I'd like to be on my way. I've quite the list of things to do before we depart.
Indeed. Remember that you can always train in our barracks on the island if you're feeling rusty.
Are your bags packed for the great departure?
Yes, you know I get by with very little. You're not angry that I'm coming with you, I hope.
On the contrary, I'm thrilled that both you and Sir de Cossilion are joining our party. A few friends at your side in unknown territory is a boon.
Ah, so the old goat is coming too. And there I was thinking I would die of boredom on the trip. By the way, where is our future governor hiding? I was hoping to put his skills to the test as well.
I have no idea. He had plans to celebrate his departure last night, and we haven't seen him since. You know Constantine. I should have gone with him, but my heart wasn't in the mood for celebration. The thought of bidding my mother farewell.
It is never easy to say goodbye. But you should be going to see her now. She must be waiting for you. I'll meet you in front of the palace. Then we'll go and find Constantine together.
Very well. I'll meet you as soon as I've said my goodbyes.
Where the hell am I going now? So I'm going this way. Just throw this shit at myself real quick. What's up, man? You look like witchcraft.
What is this? Have you not been told to knock? I've asked 1,000 times. Oh, it's you, my dear child.
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble getting used to your condition.
Come now, let's speak of more pleasant things. I'm so very happy to hear your voice. You remind me so much of your father. I do miss him so. Today is the big day, isn't it? Ready to set sail for that island everyone's talking about.
Yes, but the idea of leaving you behind, alone and ill...
Dying, my child. Alas, there is nothing you can do by staying that would ease my suffering. One thing brings me cheer. They say the island is full of miracles, and we might find a cure.
Even if I were to find it, I would never be able to return in time to...
I know. But it brings me comfort to know my son has left on a mission to heal his people. Come now. It is time for you to take leave. Here, take this with you.
What is it?
A family heirloom. Something that... Take it and keep it with you. May it bring you good luck. All my blessings go with you, my child. Now, be off.
So I'm guessing she's dying. Gruesome death. Oh, Indiana Jones now. Is there a way to change the field of view? What the hell is all this?
Kurt? It's done.
Sorry, Greenblood. Look, we can see the masts of the ship that'll be taking us. This is one sacred adventure we're embarking on.
I hope this island will keep its promises.
In order to know that, we'll need to find Constantine first.
You're
That's
right.
not that big of an
Maybe he's
issue,
already
but
at the port. He
the
was so eager to
graphics
leave.
is
This will be quite the
not
chore to finish
very
before our departure. The
very
commander wants to
desired.
recover some merchandise from our supplier, but the transporter doesn't want to deliver. I did all I could to persuade. Nothing came of it. All the parliamenting fatigues me. But this is your domain. I wouldn't say no to a little help.
Of course. Where is the supplier?
In the lower boroughs, near the port.
This is
Right then.
almost.
We'll put it on our list of
The
visits.
graphics are almost as bad as the team. What the hell is that game
Where would
called?
you like to begin?
I've been asked to pay visits to the ambassadors of
Dynamite.
Thélème and the Bridge Alliance before our departure. Their dwellings are not far from here. We could go there
It's an old
first.
game,
Very
but
well.
it's still it's
Do you think
definitely it has better
Constantine will be
graphics.
waiting for us next to the ship?
Where are we going?
I don't know, but it's certainly worthy of inspection.
Can I jump over this? Is there no jump button? There should be a jump button. Wait, where am I? Oh, on here? Oh. This one.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, I have been told that you were named legate. Congratulations. Those are great responsibilities for someone as young as yourself. But you will bring honor upon your family and the congregation. Of that I'm certain.
I thank you, Excellency. I've come here to inform you of our departure for Tirfredi. My cousin Constantine is about to take up office as governor of New Serene, and I'm accompanying him.
I had no idea you would be leaving so quickly. What a shame. I had thought... Well, then, that is a pity. Have a pleasant voyage. A brilliant future awaits you. They say that it is reputation and our own at the same time. In any city of the Bridge Alliance, we would have arrested him. But here, we respect your laws.
I shall see what I can do, but make no promises. My departure is imminent.
I thank you, Excellency. And I am pleased to see you have taken so well to your new functions of diplomacy. The man operates in the city center. He is said to be clever and mean. Be careful.
The Bridge Alliance has been on Tirfredi for much longer than we have. What can you tell me?
It is true that we founded Hikmet, our newest city, around 15 years ago now. Alas, I haven't been able to go there myself. I can only tell you what others have reported to me. It is a luxurious island. An enormous dead volcano thrones in its center. The vegetation is extremely varied, and the fauna wondrous. We discovered animals that we had never ever seen before. Some are bigger than houses. But they're not the only occupants of the island. A savage and crude people also live there, who speak an incomprehensible language. But you shall discover all of this for yourself soon enough.
Could you give me your understanding of the relations between the congregation and the bridge?
Our relations hang essentially on the quality of our trade and commerce. The exchanges are very profitable, especially on the cultural front. I will not hide from you that we have hoped you would join our number for quite some time. But your princes insist on maintaining a neutral stance between the congregation and the other nations on the continent. It is by all means a respectable position, even if it means you also trade with our enemies.
Can you explain the pointer in this game?
Would you be so kind as to tell me what you know about the Bridge Alliance?
With pleasure. A legate needs to know the history and strengths of his allies. The alliance was sealed by several nations of the Bridge around 200 years ago. The greatest of our cities, Al-Sad, became the capital, and a council formed from the different nations now rules. This union was originally put into place to better resist the appetites for conquering our neighbors. But our ancestors quickly realized that the Union had also strengthened us economically and culturally. And of course, exchanges in knowledge were strongly encouraged from the outset. Today, it is by no means an overstatement to claim that the Bridge Alliance leads our world in science and exploration. Each day, we push the limits of our understanding further in each and every domain.
And what of your war with Thélème?
It has been dragging on. In fact, it has been dragging on for years. It is madness. If those bigots hadn't gotten it in their heads to convert the entire continent, we wouldn't be in this situation. But that's the way of the world. We shall not waver, whether here or on Tiafredi.
Have you been fighting battles there as well?
From what I've been told, Teleme has wisely and tastefully built their colony far from our city. Direct conflicts are in fact quite rare. But one day they will inevitably take place.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lord de Sade.
Walk into this
Good day,
people's houses.
Excellency.
Sir de Sade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I have come to inform you that my cousin Constantine and I are departing for Tiafredi on the hour.
Ah, yes. I did indeed hear talk that you had both received callings of greater stature. Allow me to congratulate you. Were you not named legate of the congregation?
You are correct, Excellency. I thank you.
It is a station of great honor that I am sure you will fill with brio and panache. The Mother Cardinal Cornelia will be enchanted to work with you, and your cousin in the future. I only regret that your departure is so sudden.
Really?
To be entirely honest with you, I was hoping to solicit your help in a rather delicate matter.
Tell me more about it. And perhaps I can take care of your problem before my departure.
Very well. A small group of dangerous heretics has found refuge in Serene. We know that your uncle tolerates the presence of all pagans within the city walls. But these particular non-believers threaten the fragile harmony of this place. We would consider it a tremendous favor if you would arrest them and deliver them to our guard.
Heresy is not a crime in Serene. You do know that. But I'm sure my uncle would hear your arguments. Why call on my intervention?
The prince would indeed give us his blessing, but it would take time. Far too much time. For according to our sources, these fugitives have already made contact with a smuggler to take them who knows where.
I see. You're hoping that I'll be able to do something before they make it to an enemy city. If your heretics are planning on boarding a ship, then they must be in the dockyards. I'll look into this and see what I can do. Could you tell me anything about Teleme?
It would be a pleasure. As you already know, our glorious nation is guided by our faith. We follow the teachings of Matthias, our founder and greatest prophet, and give thanks each day to the Luminous for having gifted us magic. The high dignitaries of Teleme are at the same time our spiritual guides, advocates, and grand mages.
I've heard say that dissensions have appeared recently in your nation.
Ah, you must certainly be speaking about the debates that have divided the Ordo Luminous and the more political orders. The Lord Luminous has an extremely pure vision of our faith and applies the words of our saint very strictly. But other, more open-minded factions exist within our nation. They believe that a less rigid dialectic would attract souls more readily to our faith. But their differences are purely theoretical, and do not threaten the cohesion of our nation, I assure you.
How goes the conflict with the Bridge Alliance?
Your territory is, alas, the only one that has been spared from the ravages of war on the continent. We fight on every front. Without great success, one must say. But what other choice do we have? These so-called savants not only refuse the light, but are determined in their fight against it.
And on Tirfredi?
To my knowledge, no one has yet seen any serious fighting. The Bridge have succeeded in provoking the natives there, and have their hands full keeping them at bay. Which leaves us greater latitude to settle peacefully and pursue our mission of conversion.
How is Thélème faring on Tirfredi?
We built a marvelous city, San Mateus, on the western coast of the island. Did you know that certain historians believe that it might well have been the final resting place of our prophet? Our missionaries there are a multitude. Not a day passes without new islanders joining our sacred faith. Of course, there are certain pockets of resistance. There is talk of a demonic cult. Disgusting creatures. But I am confident that the Ordo Luminous will be able to put an end. The entire native population will join our ranks.
What's your point of view on the relations between our two nations?
As ambassadors, we appreciate as well the welcome that your uncle gave to our missionaries. Thanks to your support, more and more believers wander your lands. The congregation is our most precious ally. To be perfectly honest, we have only two complaints. That heresy is tolerated, and that your treaties with the Bridge Alliance are maintained.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, de Sade.
The merchant is there.
I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
What will be your official title on Tier Or are you just here to keep an eye on us?
Come now, don't be ridiculous. I'm coming in the capacity of official advisor, nothing more. But His Highness has also asked me to report to him on certain strategic observations. I am therefore required to take note of all events, chart the island and its resources, but also obtain as much knowledge as possible concerning the more dangerous creatures of the island. Your help will be extremely valuable to me. I've no longer the legs of an adventurer.
It's always a privilege to help, Master. What will be your official title on Tier
Come now. But His Highness,
It's all... I need to be leaving. I have quite a few things to do before we raise anchor.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sardet, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship. Not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers?
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?